Hello, welcome to 5 Minute Thoughts. I'm Craig Clotter. Today's thoughts, are going to be interesting. We'll see what I come up with. It's going to be 5 minutes, and I'm going to let you know what I think today's subject. Today's subject will be culture in America, because that's the only place I've lived. So let's see what we got. Let's give it 5 minutes starting now. Boop. Okay. So what culture was very important. I think it all starts back around the '80s when it really got diversified, when things really got different. Back like for Al Bundy, and if you ever watch Married with Children, if you're that old, I don't know how old you are, but you'll notice that he was a shoe salesman and he had a house. That's the way it was. Generations led other generations. Farming, manufacturing, doctor, lawyering, all that stuff. It was all built through the generation, and people were proud of who they were and where they came from. And others countries don't have that. They just have their culture where they have, where they do certain rituals and stuff like that. But the problem is with America, like me, the white American here, is like I don't have any roots. Like I don't have a culture where I can go back and I'm like, yeah, I'm from this. Definitely 100% from Germany or wherever. And that's, we don't have that in our culture. A lot of us don't have that. Everything is like to each your own. That's the big problem. The big problem is we don't pass anything down anymore. So that's why when somebody dies, everybody's fighting over all their belongings, because that's all they can have. That's all that's left. That generations of that person and that culture of that person is now individualized. And that's why everything's closed off. Your neighbors, we don't talk to each other anymore. And it's not just the white people, it's all cultures, because that's the culture here in America, I believe, is everybody does their own thing. I mean, even Bob Ross's son didn't even paint. You know what I mean? And look how it doesn't. Everybody is so into themselves and so selfish that they don't want to accept what the father or whoever has to teach and give them. I'm going to go do my own thing, and I'm going to go do and that's great, but that's what's gotten us to where our culture is today. Everybody going out and doing their own thing. And guess what? That's great. You got a good job, and then you go out and you get $1,000 truck payment. What about your kids, man? What are you working for? You're not teaching them nothing. You're just day to day going to this job, and you're just financially supporting. You're not starting what do you want to call it? You're not starting a matrix of some kind, or some type of grounds of your last name to carry on through your generations. And that's when people get a feel of lostlessness, or whatever, if that's even a word. That's where suicidal thoughts come from. You feel worthless. You don't belong to anything. You don't belong to a culture to explain yourself and feel comfortable with. You don't have generations of anything that your ancestors have done that passed down to you. So you have this huge feeling of, who the hell am I? What am I doing here? I don't matter. All these things that come from our culture being the way it is. It's very depressing. And I think what we need to do is we need to get back into meeting with our families, being with our families, teaching them what you know. Tell them what you know. Because that's what it is. That's what we pass down. We pass down to make our lives easier for the next generation. That's the power in our lives. That's the main power. I'm sitting here talking on a piece of glass that can somehow video record what I'm saying, in my beautiful house that this would not be here if it wasn't for the generations and the culture before us. It's now been here, so now I can what? So now I'm isolated myself, or whatever you can, and then you don't have any feeling of any type of foundation. So we got a big problem here in America. We need to fix this. And I think we need to be more stern with our kids. We need to keep the generations doing what they're doing. Unless it's obvious and the kids like young Sheldon, you know, for example. Anyways, I don't want to reference this or get off topic or anything like that. But I just think the culture is in very, very dire straits in America, and we need to all really think about what we're passing on, because that's all you're going to be is a bunch of merchandise for everyone to fight over when you die. Well, that's a son of a gun. That's too bad. But anyway, there's my 5 minutes. All right. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.